The Trump administration wants to vet everybody with visas in the U.S. That's where we're starting the 7 from the Washington Post. I'm Hannah Jewell. It's Friday, August 22nd. Let's get you caught up with today's 7 stories. There are 55 million people who currently hold visas for travel to the U.S. They're coming to the country for tourism, work, or study. And the State Department wants to review all of them. In a statement, the agency said continuous vetting would allow it to revoke visas if it finds signs of ineligibility. It said that includes overstays, criminal activity, and threats to public safety. In practice, the process of re-vetting people who already hold a visa is likely to be time-consuming and logistically complicated. The Trump administration has overseen a drastic crackdown on immigration. It initially focused on illegal migration to the U.S., but now it has expanded to include reviews of legal migration. In another example, U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services wrote in a policy alert this week that it was updating its guidance for granting visas. It said it will screen applicants for what it calls anti-American behavior. The White House published a list of Smithsonian exhibits it says are too woke. That's number 2. For months, President Trump has been complaining that Smithsonian museums are too focused on negative aspects of U.S. history. Yesterday, the White House increased its pressure on the Smithsonian. It called out a list of exhibitions and materials it doesn't like, including many that mention race, slavery, sexuality, and transgender identity. Lindsay Halligan is the White House official charged with examining Smithsonian museums. She spoke to Fox News on Wednesday.
I think the fact that we had our country was involved in slavery is awful. No one thinks otherwise. But what I saw when I was going through the museums personally was an overemphasis on slavery. Mm-hmm. And I think there should be more of an overemphasis on how far we've come since slavery. Our country is a country of progress, and it's the greatest country in the world. And we should be able to take our kids, our students through the Smithsonian and feel proud when we leave.
The White House's list was published as an official, unsigned article titled, "President Trump is Right About the Smithsonian." In the article, the White House called out 7 museums for their exhibits and messaging, including the National Museum of African American History and Culture. The list also includes works by individual artists. Some artists named in the list called it a badge of honor. Number 3. A state appeals court voided a massive civil judgment against Trump. Cast your mind back to February 2024. That's when a judge in New York ordered Trump to pay hundreds of millions of dollars in penalties. It followed a civil fraud trial that found Trump and others had carried out a years-long scheme to use false financial data to borrow money at lower rates. The fine had climbed to around $500 million, including interest. But yesterday, that fine was voided by a state appeals court. It called the verdict excessive, but it left in place the lower court's finding that Trump and others in his real estate empire did commit fraud. Trump called the decision a total victory. New York Attorney General Letitia James, who won the case, said that the fraud finding was well supported, and she vowed to appeal the decision to void the fine. Number 4. Famine was officially confirmed in the Gaza City region. The world's global authority on hunger declared a famine in Gaza's largest metropolis today. It said that more than 500,000 people in the area are facing catastrophic conditions characterized by starvation, destitution, and death. That number is expected to grow as famine spreads to other areas. Israel imposed a total siege on Gaza in March, banning all food, aid, fuel, and medicine from entering the Palestinian territory. It was only in late May, after Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said the pictures of mass starvation were bothering Israel's allies, that he announced he would allow in a minimal amount of aid. But it has not been enough to stem the tide of mass starvation. Eric Menendez was denied parole yesterday. That's our fifth story. Eric Menendez is serving a life sentence alongside his brother Lyle for murdering their parents in Los Angeles in 1989. The brothers' case received renewed attention last year following the release of a Netflix series. The brothers were resentenced in May. Their original sentence of life without the possibility of parole was changed to a sentence of 50 years to life. But yesterday, Eric Menendez was denied parole for 3 years. The panel took into account prison rules violations during his incarceration. The Associated Press reported that included allegations that he worked with a prison gang, bought drugs, used cell phones, and helped with a tax scam. Meanwhile, the parole hearing for Lyle Menendez is scheduled today. Number 6. There have been an unusual number of Category 5 hurricanes over the past decade. On Saturday, Hurricane Erin became the 11th Category 5 storm in the Atlantic Ocean since 2016. These are the strongest types of hurricanes, and they didn't used to be this frequent. One of the key drivers of big storms is record warm water temperatures. Erin's growth fits within recent research and evidence that rapid intensification is becoming more common as the climate warms. And in more refreshing news, a change in weather linked to Erin will soon bring a taste of cool, fall-like weather to the northern U.S. So make sure you dig out and wash your favorite plaid shirt this weekend. You don't want to be caught unprepared. And at number 7. You're not dreaming it. Birds are singing more at night. Researchers conducted a sweeping analysis of more than 4 million bird calls recorded in people's backyards. They found that, on average, birds prolonged their songs by 50 minutes in landscapes with a lot of extra illumination at night. That can come from streetlights, store signs, and skyscrapers. These wakeful birds are chirping earlier in the morning and later into the evening than their counterparts in less well-lit places. Light pollution has long been known to disrupt animal activities. You just heard a slightly annoying cardinal, which is one of the most sensitive bird species to this problem. Migratory birds, sea turtles, and moths get turned around by artificial light. You can help them get back on track by switching off any unnecessary outdoor lights. And you'll also be helping yourself. Artificial light can disrupt our sleep cycles too. That's the show for this week. The associate producer of The Seven is Taylor White. Special help this week from Emma Talkoff and Rennie Svirnovsky. The staff writers are me and Jamie Ross. John Taylor is our editor. Additional editing by Christina Quinn. Copy editing is by Melissa No and Thomas Haliba. Mixing and sound design by Jim Briggs and Justin Garish. Our theme music is by Edith Mudge. Renita Jablonski is our director of audio. I'm Hannah Jewell. Thanks for listening and have a great weekend. We'll meet you back here on Monday.